If you're wondering which camera for beginners are worth your money, stick around. After we run through each product, I'll give you my personal take. Would I buy it or would I skip it? No fluff, just my honest opinion. Let's get into it. Canon EOS R50. This little camera is surprisingly snappy and actually fun to carry around without feeling like I am lugging a brick. The menus are not a complete nightmare, but the battery life will leave you crying in a corner after an hour of shooting. Would I buy it? Yes, because it is the perfect little companion for someone who just wants to shoot without fighting the gear.
Canon EOS R100. This thing is a relic that Canon clearly forgot to update before tossing it onto store shelves to trap unsuspecting beginners. It lacks a flip screen and touch controls, which makes me want to throw it into the nearest lake every time I try to change a setting. Would I buy it? No, because the R50 exists and makes this plastic paperweight look like a total embarrassment.
Sony ZV-E10. I spent a week with this, and honestly, the lack of a viewfinder makes me feel like I am using a glorified smartphone from 3 years ago. It overheats if you even look at it the wrong way, and the menu system is a labyrinth designed by someone who hates joy. Would I buy it? Maybe, because it is cheap and gets the job done if you can handle the constant anxiety of it shutting down.
Sony ZV-E10 II. They finally fixed the battery life and gave us a sensor that does not look like it belongs in a museum, but the price hike is a slap in the face. It is definitely a better machine, yet it still feels like a soulless content creation robot that lacks any real personality. Would I buy it? Yes, because it is actually capable and does not die the moment you start filming a video. Fujifilm X-T30 II. This camera looks incredible, and the dials actually make me feel like a professional photographer even when I am just taking blurry photos of my cat. The autofocus is a bit of a drama queen compared to the Sony options, often hunting for focus while I am trying to capture a moment. Would I buy it? Maybe, because while it is gorgeous and fun to use, the autofocus struggles are enough to make me lose my mind. Olympus OMD EM10 Mark IV. This tiny thing is basically a toy that fits in my jacket pocket, but the menu system is a labyrinth designed by someone who hates joy. I constantly felt like I was fighting the software just to change a simple setting, while my friends were already taking photos. Would I buy it? No, because the sensor is ancient and the Sony Alpha 6400 makes it look like a joke. Nikon Z50 Mark II. This camera actually feels like a modern machine, with a viewfinder that does not make me want to poke my eyes out. It handles fast action without breaking a sweat, though the battery life is just okay if you were shooting all day. Would I buy it? Yes, because it is the only one here that does not feel like it belongs in a museum or a bargain bin. Nikon Z30. They stripped away the viewfinder to make it a vlogging machine, but holding this thing feels like gripping a slippery bar of soap. It is fine for video, but trying to frame a shot using only the screen and bright sunlight is a special kind of torture. Would I buy it? Maybe, but only if you're obsessed with TikTok and never plan on taking a real photograph. Nikon D3500. Using this feels like driving a car from 2005, complete with a clunky body and zero modern connectivity. Sure, the battery lasts forever, but carrying this heavy brick around in 2026 is just embarrassing when mirrorless cameras exist. Would I buy it? No, because it's a dinosaur that should have been extinct years ago. Sony Alpha 6400. The autofocus on this thing is a literal cheat code that locks onto eyes faster than I can blink. It is ugly as sin, and the screen implementation is awkward, but it gets the job done better than almost anything else in this lineup. Would I buy it? Yes, because it is a workhorse that actually respects my time instead of making me fiddle with garbage menus. Canon EOS R10. This little plastic brick feels like it was designed by someone who hates ergonomics and loves burying every useful setting in a menu from 2005. The battery life is an absolute joke that will leave you stranded before you even finish your first cup of coffee. Would I buy it? No, because the lens selection is a sad, barren wasteland that makes this thing a total dead end. Fujifilm X-S20. Finally, a camera that actually feels like it wants to be used instead of just sitting on a shelf looking pretty. The image stabilization is witchcraft, and the internal cooling keeps the thing from melting into a puddle when you try to shoot anything longer than a TikTok. Would I buy it? Yes, because it is the only thing here that actually keeps up with my chaotic workflow without throwing a tantrum. Fujifilm X-M5. They stripped away the viewfinder in the grip just to make it look like a hipster accessory, which makes actually holding the damn thing a nightmare. It is basically a smartphone with a bigger sensor and a price tag that makes me want to scream into a pillow. Would I buy it? No, because I am not paying this much money to fumble around with a slippery block of metal that lacks basic features. Nikon ZFC. It looks like a vintage masterpiece that belongs in a museum, but the build quality feels like a cheap toy that might snap if you look at it too hard. The autofocus hunts around like it is searching for a lost contact lens, which is just fantastic when you were trying to capture something that is actually moving. Would I buy it? Maybe, because if you only care about aesthetic vibes for your Instagram feed, it does that job perfectly fine. Sony Alpha 6100. This ancient relic is still floating around like a ghost from a decade ago, complete with a screen resolution that looks like it was rendered on a calculator. The menu system is a labyrinth designed to test my sanity, and frankly, I have better things to do with my life than fight with this interface. Would I buy it? No, because the Fujifilm options completely embarrass this dinosaur in every way that actually matters. Canon EOS Rebel T7. This thing is a literal dinosaur that makes you feel like you are shooting photos in 2010. The autofocus is so slow it might as well be taking a nap while you're trying to capture a moving subject. Would I buy it? No, because your phone takes better pictures and does not weigh a ton. Canon EOS Rebel SL3. At least this one actually lets you record video without wanting to throw the camera into a lake out of pure frustration. It is small enough to carry around, but the menu system is still stuck in the dark ages of user interface design. Would I buy it? Maybe, because it is cheap enough to learn on before you realize you need something better. Panasonic Lumix G100. This camera is basically a glorified webcam that Panasonic desperately tried to market to vloggers who deserve way better. The crop factor on the video is so aggressive that you lose half your background just by turning on the stabilization. Would I buy it? No, because the Sony Alpha 6700 destroys this thing in every single way that actually matters. Sony Alpha 6700. This tiny beast has autofocus so fast it feels like it is cheating, and it actually makes me want to go out and shoot stuff. It is expensive as hell, but it packs more power into a small frame than anything else I've touched lately. Would I buy it? Yes, because it is the only camera on this list that does not make me want to scream at my computer screen. Ricoh GR IV. Carrying this around is like keeping a secret weapon in your pocket that captures street shots with zero effort. It is weirdly niche, and the lack on the viewfinder makes me feel like a total hipster, but the image quality is straight up magic. Would I buy it? Yes, because it is the most fun I have had with a camera in years, despite its strange quirks. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the best camera for beginners for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description.